And our first main topic today gets submitted to us by Alan Renshaw, who writes, I just saw the Halo trailer, and this series looks amazing. It looks like a great piece of high concept sci-fi, and they gave it a proper budget. What are your thoughts on the trailer? All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yes, listen, sitting down trying to watch the the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Cincinnati Bengals game, and all Ray's like, when's the Halo trailer? Halftime, Ray. What minute in halftime? Not sure, Ray. We're going to get there. And Ray was very excited. This is how excited Ray was for this thing. I mean, he was talking as much about this Halo trailer as he was about the game itself.
No, I wasn't talking much about the game at that moment. I thought we were getting run over.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because it was 21-3.
I had to put all that energy into this trailer because it couldn't go anywhere else. I had nothing to say about the game.
You had to have something to look forward to because you weren't enjoying the game at the time. But I'll tell you what, they put out the first, what was it, during the Video Game Awards? Is that what the first,
it was like a 10
teaser.
seconds of a waste of time of the whole 3 hours I waited for.
So they put out that Halo spot, and I'm going to tell you what, it looked cheap. I wasn't all that impressed with it.
Right.
I thought it looked like it was a CW. It looked like a CW show. It looked like small budget, shot on a CW set. I'm like, nah. The new trailer came out yesterday. I'll tell you what. I liked what I saw. I did. I liked what I saw. Anyway, this comes to us from the folks over at IGN and write the following. In the trailer, which you can see below, we're not on the website, obviously, we catch a glimpse of not only Pablo Schreiber's Master Chief, but also our best look yet at the show's version of Jen Taylor's Cortana. Additionally, we see many of the Covenant enemies Chief and friends will be facing off against, including the Elites, Brutes, Jackals, and more. And hell no, I'm not even going to bother trying to pronounce the names of them in the game there. So the trailer came out. Now look, one bit of criticism about the trailer. Still have no idea what this is about. I have no idea what's like. It's really just a bunch of random shots of, ooh, Master Chief, ooh, running with guns, ooh, and that's fine. It's really the first legitimate trailer, and I think that's okay. But I'm still, as a viewer, I don't really know. I've been reading a lot of fans online talking about how, is this an amalgamation of the different storylines in the game? This is kind of taking liberties with some things, blah, blah. So even the hardcore fans aren't really sure, okay, what's our main narrative going to be? But other than that little teaser during the Video Game Awards, this is really the first trailer. And that's okay. And we got our release dates coming in March, which is great. Now, that aside, it looked like the production value looks much better than it did in that first teaser. I thought the action looked pretty good. The creatures looked pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing the warthog and all that kind of stuff. And I got to tell you, the first little thing, I'm like, yeah, this trailer, I'm looking forward to seeing this show.
I am making a bed in your guest room because I don't have Paramount.
There is a bed in my guest room.
But you do.
Yes, I do.
And I will be here no matter what day it is. I'm watching this. Really, Halos, if there's so much books and things like that, I don't get into it. I just know the gist of the game. It's Master Chief trying to save humanity from these this group of mixed alien races that have a religious cause behind them wanting to get rid of humanity, and Master Chief is pretty much the only thing that could stand up to these guys with his armor, with the Spartan training, whatever. And there's also drama with that because they stole kids when they were young to create these super soldiers. So there's a little dilemma within the soldiers themselves. Was this right? Should they have done this to us? But at the same time, they're protecting.
They're trying to save the
what's
world.
What's left of humanity against these creatures that believe that they're right. So it's that's basically what it is. Depending on how far they go into the books, I don't know. I only understand enough for me to keep watching things or keep playing things. I don't get into deep with those things. So
all that really matters right now, though, the only thing that matters right now is, what do you think of the trailer? Did you like it?
It's great. It gives me high hopes for hopefully the Godzilla series. We'll start seeing them not skimp out on. If you're gonna get a big property like Halo, Godzilla, I expect money to be thrown in there. Right. Just because if this is your tentpole series for your streaming platform, which Paramount doesn't really have anything right now. As they're like, oh, we have
Paramount has nothing. They have nothing.
Yeah,
they have nothing that's worth watching.
No.
I'm
kidding.
As in TV series. What do they have?
Oh, me
Oh,
too.
they have Yellowstone. I'm sorry, John.
Well, but that's not even Paramount Plus. But they have Yellowstone. They have 1883. They have all the South Park
There's
stuff.
this old venerable franchise that's been around for 56
They have
years.
Star
but,
Trek.
Oh my God!
snap.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just because it's been.
No,
nothing.
they should be sorry for the Star Trek of the last
Star
40
Trek
years.
stuff
They
has
could be
been
home
great.
to both. We could be friends.
Dude, Halo is going to smoke Star Trek. Paramount Plus is going to look at Halo and go, oh, here's where we should be putting our money. And I mean, look, I agree with you. I like this trailer, John. I thought, Halo has always struck me as, I remember playing the first Halo. And to me, it's an amalgamation of various, whether it's Ender's Game, whether it's Starship Troopers. I liked it. I mean, the sci-fi world that they build out, it's very familiar in terms of anyone who's read a lot of literary sci-fi. But it was a great game. It was a great game. And this trailer, it looks really good. Like you said, after seeing things like Foundation on Apple, which they spent a lot of money, you can't do sci-fi like this and skimp. And like you said, this looks really good. I mean, the creature design is very cool. The character design's right out of the game. I mean, Master Chief looks just like Master Chief. Now I want to see a Metroid series done just like.
Oh yeah,
wouldn't that be great? But it looks great.
I got a question though. I got a question. It's kind of a two-parter. And really, you guys got to understand how big of an Xbox guy Ray is. Like I've explained this before, but Ray literally comes over to my house with this jerry-rigged. It's a little Xbox that he has put a monitor on, and it's like a laptop. So it's an Xbox that likes a laptop. He can open up the monitor, so he can take this. He brings it over to my house and sits there and plays Xbox.
When I busted it out is when it was 21-3. I said, I took that thing out of the bag and I said, it looks like it's gonna be a long day, boys.
Wait, is this an Xbox One?
It's the newer one, but the smaller one, the Series S.
Oh, okay.
He's got a monitor attached to it that he can flip up and play wherever he goes. But here's the question. All right. Two-parter. Number one, are we going to see Master Chief take his helmet off? Number two, if he does, are people going to be upset by that? Because there's two different ways of looking at this. Because if you go back to Judge Dredd with Carl Urban, right? Kept the mask on. Now, granted, you could still see part of his face, but he kept the mask on the entire movie. Then we've seen other things. We've been seeing a lot of, Boba Fett without the helmet on and whatever and all that kind of stuff. But do you think we're going to see him take his helmet off? And if so, is that okay with you? Nobody?
No, I'll say this right now. They're going to show either part or all of his face right in the beginning.
Think
right
so?
in the beginning. I think so. Just so people can know that he's human.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right about that.
Yeah, like right at the beginning, you know how they had that shot with him on that table with the scars on his back?
Yep.
I think we see it right in the beginning, just so we could put a face to the mask. You know what I mean? Like
I agree with that.
But more importantly, what does Superman think?
Yeah, what does Superman think? Actually, you know what, guys? I'm putting up in the live chat right now, I'm putting up a poll. So I want to ask you guys in there, the poll is up there right now. Should we see Master Chief without the helmet on?
And what was the second part of that?
Well, I mean, the first part of the question was, will we see him without the helmet on? Second part is, how do you think people will respond to it if they do? So what do you think people are going to be okay with it if he takes his helmet off, Rob?
Yeah, because somebody's got to play him. At some point you do want to have a connection to the character. It's just like, you can't, Spider-Man is a better character if you know that the Peter Parker that's under the mask. I think that's always true. I mean, Master Chief, unless there's some kind of religious significance, like the Mandalorians are like, you can't. No, I think that there's no problem with.
Plus, it also shows vulnerability in the character. Like, even though he has all this armor, he's taking orders. He's still a human. I don't know.
Here's funny. I'll be straight up. I expected this poll to be like, should we see Master Chief without the helmet? I expected it to be like 80 to 90% no, but it's pretty split. Right now, 52% say no, 48% say yes.
But if you ask me, I would prefer to keep the helmet on. I like robots. I like to think he's a robot.
You like to think of him as a droid of some kind?
I like to think of him as a robot, because then...
Isn't it better to think of him as a man, though?
But then you start nitpicking, oh, man, he doesn't look right. That's not how the Master Chief I thought he would look like.
That's true.
That's the
Because people
problem.
make it
Well,
up in their
We've
heads.
been playing this game for how many? 6 games without
it's-
really seeing his face.
It's been what, 20 years?
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, they showed his face in some of the releases of whatever, and it's been fine. But what if this actor's like, that's not my Master Chief?
And everybody's head is going to be different. It's what Master Chief looks like is going to be different in everybody's head. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What did you think about this trailer for Halo? I was actually pretty impressed by it. I'm looking forward
It
to
looks
seeing the
good.
show. Do you think it's going to be good? Do you have high hopes? Do you have no hopes? Whatever you guys are thinking, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.